Welcome back to my channel, guys. I know it's been a really long time since I've made any content. The reason behind that is basically just that I've been doing the same repetitive grinding over and over on the game. I know I told you guys I wanted to make archives content, or basically Odin's content, but I kind of hit a brick wall when I couldn't defeat Jorgen without using purples, which is still on my goal list. And then I told you guys I wanted to make PvP videos, but I still don't really have an understanding of how to go about that. I'm still getting destroyed at PvP, but I have been doing it way more often. In this video, I'm basically going to give you guys a tour of what I've been doing on the game while not making content, meaning no, I'm not giving you a tour of my base. I'm going to go through my routines, like my farming routines, my team hopping, all of those things. And I also want to talk about a giveaway. I am very close to 2K subs, and I thought that at 2K subs I would give something back. I also had told people previously that I was going to add donations to my channel. I still need to work on that because I'm kind of locked out of my PayPal. But yeah, I'm just in this video going to give you guys the heads up of how I farm, how I do Odins, and how I team hop to reset Odins and Hell's Envoy. And then I'm going to also be doing this giveaway. The giveaway is actually going to be done on April 20th this month. But the deadline on the giveaway entries is going to be April 16th, and it's not just going to be any giveaway, it's going to have a little more to it. The winner will get to pick one of these sets, and I will meet them in game, whether either having to join a team or them join my team, or we meet in a zone. But the winner will have to have me added on Discord. The contestants, all you have to do to enter is comment on this video, and the comment that you need to leave is who you think is going to win the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight, and not only who you think's going to win, but how they're going to win, meaning give a round and time, or if you think it's going to decision, who you think's going to win, and that you think it's going to be a decision. And do not edit your comment. If you change your mind before the deadline, which is April 16th at midnight my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, all you have to do is delete your comment and re-comment. But do not edit it, because in the end, when I'm trying to pick a winner, I'm going to be ignoring edited comments. If there's a tie and there's more than, one person who thinks that, Jake Paul or Ben Askren is going to win at the end of the fight by a decision, I will take all of those names and we will do a random drawing. I will most likely record the random drawing so that nobody knows, or everybody knows, that they didn't get, conned, or that I picked, some secret person to win ahead of time. That's not the case. Basically, the order in which the comments are given, first come first serve. I will give numbers 1 to however many people are tied with that answer, and then we will just do the random drawing. But yes, this is what will be given away, is one of these sets. I understand that there's nothing exceptionally rare here, but I'm also a free-to-play poor bum, so we're going to start with what we can start with on the giveaway. Maybe in the future we can do bigger things like fire bows or Jorgen's helmets, the Tretch helm. But currently I can't even get my own Tretch helm yet, so we're holding off on that one. But yeah, so let me get started with my daily routines, and then at the end of the video I'll get back to the giveaway. So the first part of my daily routine is to always make sure that I'm getting the daily quest from the popular district, not my own district, since there's a 10 silver difference, and then always trying to do that. That's my main daily goal, is to always get that silver. I don't want to miss out on it. And then at my base, I like to make sure that when I'm playing the game that I keep my plank maker busy all the time. I also every day try to grow these maple trees that I have over here. What I do is I don't use strong hatchets that are already missing durability. Usually every time it's time to chop those trees, I make a brand new strong hatchet and I use that strong hatchet to chop the trees. And my reasoning behind this is there's going to come times where I'm going to get killed out in the zones and I'm going to lose my strong hatchet, and I'd prefer that it be as low a durability as possible. And since no map has more than 3 maple trees on it in the regular zones, I don't really need any more than 24 durability on a hatchet. Everything else is extra because I can come back to camp in between there and just get a different hatchet to go farming with. When I have iron, I like to keep my iron busy. Currently, I don't have any iron really, but in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I get my iron as well. And basically, every time I get planks, I come over here and make more charcoal with them, and the charcoal is going to end up going into the making iron or making tin or making whatever I have to keep my smelters busy while I play. I have a lot of copper, but I'm going to go ahead and start trying to free up some tin space. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the zones, and I forgot to replant my maple trees, so let's go. Currently, having a horse mount has highly reduced my ability to grab these maple saplings, because a lot of the time I'm just on my horse running around looking for a maple tree, and I don't hop off of my horse to grab the saplings, whereas before the horse existed or before mounts, I would always run laps on foot, and when you're on foot you can easily just sway off your lap and grab a sapling if you see it. So what I'm going to do is I like to start by farming the zones for copper and maple. And since maple is the easier one, I'm going to begin with it. My setup as of getting Pathfinder 3 has been to take a simple bow, 2 bolas for trying to escape, and some food, and then I try to always wear boots, and then the hat if I'm feeling spicy, and same with armor and legs. If I somehow got a pair of armor and legs from something else, I'll always wear it when going to the copper or maple zone. Currently, my Hell's Envoy and my Odin's timers are fresh because I have just entered a new team. I will explain that later in this vid. When farming mats, I always try to keep my aggro off. I feel like when it's on, you're more likely to get paired with aggressive players. Trust me, you run into lots of aggressive players with it off, but I feel like the ratio is way higher. I'm more likely to see a purple when it's on than I am when it's off. It's kind of rare that I see a purple when it's off. And it's been harder to find maple trees, I guess, considering that we have the mount everybody runs around. I do check chests. Like, I would have assumed that one was going to be empty because there was a guy right there. I don't really need any of that. I'm going to go... Well, I thought I was going to go to that guy's dead body, but it looks like... Alright, there's our tree. So once I spot my tree... I gotta get to it, but I kind of brought a mob with me. Let's put him on the homie. Homie, help me. I need your help. Bro, take that wolf for me. I forgot to bring a healing Slav with me. But it's not the end of the world. Alright, and now that I have the maple tree, I think it's very rare that you can have 2 maple trees on the solo. I feel like it's always 1, so I just leave after I get the 1. So now I'm going to bank the sapling, the logs, and grab the healing Slav. And I always make sure that I have 24 durability on a strong hatchet when entering the family zone. Alright, so me personally, I always like to bank in between zone switching.
just to be safe instead of sorry. I understand it takes a lot of time, but I'm going to be risking my hatchet. But currently, since having the Pathfinder 3 is when I changed my farming methods, meaning before I had Pathfinder 3, I would always use healer and a healing staff to farm. Now I use Pathfinder 3 because every once in a while I get fights, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, is practice without having to switch my whole daily agenda. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is get my HP back to full. I don't sneak on the forest map, meaning no matter what I run into, I'm not interested in sneaking on this map. But since I'm on foot, whereas I'm normally not on foot, I am going to grab saplings as I see them. I'm in a heavy need for saplings. If you want to keep that maple tree growing every day, you got to pay the sapling cost. Alright, I can't outrun the wolves, so... And then I'm going to hop on my little... horse, bust the lap out, and leave. Now I'm going to go to the copper solo zone. Alright, and then when doing the red zones, I do this one different than the forest zones. That's why I do it last, because I'm going to spend more time in here. I always bring a stack of basic pickaxes so that I can grab iron that is easily accessible. And then the main difference between the stone and the forest zone is I like to crouch. In the solo zone, I'm not such a big fanatic of crouching, but in the family, I definitely crouch because I spend a lot of time away from the edges of the map. I found my copper rock. That was pretty easy. I need to kill 2 of these for my quest, so I'm going to go ahead and try to kill multiple birds at one time. Alright, and just like that, I got my quest done. I don't go out of my way for the chest or the iron, but I try not to miss out on any easy to get. And then basically this is not the map that I try to get iron from, so I'm going to bank and then be right back for the next zone. Alright, and in these zones, this is basically where I get most of my PvP practice too. If someone was to kill me, I had the choice on whether or not I want to come back with better gear and try to avenge my death. But I want to get away from Darling. Darling could probably have teammates. My mindset when I come here is not to worry about farming copper. Why is Darling bothering me with the 5 stacks? It's not to mine copper, it's actually to mine iron, and it looks like someone already mined this place of iron. At the top of every hour that I'm not busy doing something else, I like to repeat that lap around all 4 of those zones. I'm going to collect my daily tasks and my daily silver. Every day grab my taxes, which that's a good one. 31 plus 30 is 61 silver in a day, putting me to 279, meaning tomorrow I can get to 71 district, which brings me to the horses and the stable.
My last time spending silver on horses, I know I have bad RNG, so I tried to use 3 level 1s to make a level 2, and I was unsuccessful, so that was all the sign I needed to know that I will save up my horses until I have the 80-something district needed.
So basically doing the copper and maple zones at the top of every hour when I'm not doing something else is how I get those resources. But in between those zones resetting, I try to go to the green zone sometimes maybe twice, and it's kind of AFKable. It gives me the ability to do something else. But if you want to keep making charcoal to keep your smelters busy, especially if you're going to mine all the iron out of the red zones, you're going to need wood. You're going to need a constant supply of wood. So to show you guys how I do that, I don't need wood currently at the moment, but just to give you guys an idea of during a full day of playing, if I play 8 hours, I'm going to at least do 2 wood runs in that day, I think. But someone watching one of my live streams actually recommended this when they seen me doing fire bombs in here for a tournament. They said I use fire axe. It's actually an incredible idea. I use the sorcerer class because I don't have any heavy melee boosting classes, but you heavily want to stay away from that bowman. There's only one on this map. So remember where he is and stay away from it and try to get all the other monsters to follow you. The easiest way is to zigzag backwards every now and then. And you basically just don't want to get so far ahead that the monsters break off of following you. Also, I don't prefer wearing any armor when you do this because the wolves will heavily demolish all the durability on your gear. But yes, if I can get it done in 2 mobs, I'm usually happy. But the idea behind this is just to clear this place out as soon as possible so that you can hit the auto button. So now that I got this big mob, I'm going to kind of circle around so I can get them all in one group and then switch and kill. Usually one shot will kill everyone but the big guy, and I waste extra durability to just go ahead and kill them, the 75 HP Draugrs. But you could easily switch weapons if you didn't want to use. Like you could go barehanded and kill them or something. Then I run around and try to get what's left. Then I switch, put on the support staff, go kill the bowman, then switch to healer, heal, and auto out the map. Sometimes I shoot the deer. Since they're close by, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this time too. And auto will not open up the chest, so I need to do that before I click auto. Then once I've got the deer, open the chest, I hit auto. You can bring hatchets and a pickaxe with you, but me personally, sometimes I like to just come without them and make them while I'm here. I don't need chains or anything else, but as I get the supplies needed, I will make a hatchet and a pickaxe. While you're in your inventory, you can still auto as long as you don't like eat anything. Alright, so let's get alright, I got a hatchet, got a pickaxe, and now I'm safe until the hatchet is gone. Since I am not AFK and I'm filming this video, that is why I didn't bring a hatchet and a pickaxe. But had I been busy wanting to make myself some food or something in real life, I would have already brought the hatchet so that way I could just auto clear out my inventory and go back to business. In real life, usually one of these auto methods will result in at least 150 wood and over 20 stone. And that's basically where I'm at, but you do have to be careful. As you can see, my Nord is not full durability, and that is because I have died twice, where basically you don't do the switch to the axe fast enough and the mob all hits you once and you die because you don't have your shield on, you have your axe on, and you don't block any damage, and like 20 monsters hit you at once. So you do kind of got to be careful as to make sure when you switch to your axe that you're going to hit the monsters before the monsters hit you. And then I'm just going to speed up this auto. Alright, so thankfully I didn't run out of time autoing that. Technically in real life I just went on a scooter ride real quick and made it back in time before the map sent a monster in to kill me. But that is how I farmed the green zones, and after doing that twice, normally the other maps are reset and I can do them again. And then the next thing I'm going to do is give you guys briefly, as brief and short as I can, an idea of how I clear Odins. I get lots of questions about that. In the future, I'm going to make more in-depth content on Odins and how I do Odins, but I really was working on trying to beat Odins, including the archives, at least to the Jorgen, before trying to give my advice on how I do Odins. But just to give you a glimpse of my inventory, this is what I take. This should get me past the Necros floor. Basically, this inventory should get me to the forge and be able to open the forge up before needing to go to town and get more supplies. My tactic is pretty simple. I rely heavily on the fire dagger. I try to sneak as much as possible. If I'm not sneaking, I'm usually spearing or poking. I always do this standard mode. I'm not going to give you guys the full playthrough. In the next couple of hours, I'll be on and off the game, and I'm just going to try and give... basically, I'm working on this video over a couple of days, so I'm just going to give you like the general idea. Currently, I can switch weapons, though. This guy is a very weak HP monster when you first come in here. And then what I do is... I use Illusionist to reset mobs. I think a lot of people are unaware that Illusionist actually has 2 ways to reset the mobs. Well, actually that's not true. I'm sure most people are aware it has 2 ways, but they don't understand that there's actually a significant difference between the two. If you use clones, you only reset the monsters that were aggro on the clones when the clones die. If you use Sprint, you reset the whole floor. So there are times where you only want to reset 1 monster, or you only want to reset 2 monsters, and then there's times like this right now where it doesn't matter, and I'm just going to use the clones. But yeah, after I reset mobs, I then switch to Rogue and try to sneak them out. My sneak caps as is with a soup and insta I hit 615. Without a soup and insta I hit 559 or 560. And then without the insta, without a soup, just the Rogue 2, I hit 430. So I kind of work around those numbers. Like he's got 432. I hit 480s with sneaks without doing any moves. So like if I sneak him, I hit for 480. I'm pretty sure there's a chance that I can hit for 479. So when I'm not 100% confident, I will sneak like that. Like how you see there, I got 559. Had that been a 560 HP monster, I would get hit and lose a durability on my insta set. Then against monsters where I know I'm going to get hit, I just take off my insta set, sneak behind them. I could wait for this sneak timer to reset, but I'm super lazy, don't have time for all that. I'm just going to sneak this guy, take my hit, run away. The fire dagger lets you run faster, so sometimes I put it on. Anyway, leave the map, come back, put the insta on, re-sneak the guy. So I have different methods, whereas when I'm close to an exit, like how I am now, I basically just switch to a rusty sword, horsey away, go out the exit, reset the mob. Had I not been near an exit, the horsey gets me far enough away to be able to use this hot class switch up here in the top left, switch to illusionist, and then run around kite for 10 seconds and do my move to reset the mobs. But just like that, the giant is down. And then when I know I'm going to get hit, take off the insta. I'm going to switch to my horsey. I need the bowman to aggro me. Got all of them on me now. Get out of here. When you are on an exit like this, you can enter your inventory without it resetting. So say you used insta to sneak somebody and you're scared the other monsters are going to catch up to you, you can just switch. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and heal up since I have extra. No need to die in the making of my video. When dealing with groups like this where I know I'm not going to be able to sneak and run away without getting hit, I just don't wear my insta. We officially reset, so we can basically just stick him. Let these guys attack me. I'm not really worried about it. They can even attack me when I'm on the door. It's not a big deal. I'm not losing durability on anything. They won't be able to kill me. Since the archer is the only one left in that group, I can put my boots on, switch back to the fire dagger, just do a regular sneak. Run up here and regular sneak this guy. Then I can switch to the illusionist class. I'll give them skills just a second. I'm gonna use the clones on this guy and then the sprint on the room that was next to him. Always when using the clones, you want to put a decent distance between you and the target so that you don't get hit while casting the clones. So he resets, goes back, allows me to open up this other room. And sprint, reset them, switch back to rogue. Since there's two monsters in this one room, I'm going to take off my insta, go after the weak one first, since I don't need an insta set to KO that monster. Then we horsey away. Technically, I think you can get away without getting hit there, but I'm being kind of reckless because I'm just trying to rush for these quick tips. But basically, so far what you've seen is just the fire dagger into rusty sword, exit, use illusionist staff to reset rooms. On the next floor, I will point out how we do rooms that are packed with monsters, and you're far from the exit. So I'm going to skip around. Alright, so now is when I do the boss. Normally I have healing Slav. Since I got time, go ahead and set my inventory up. Pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly, it's like 2 staves, 2 those. There's always that super crazy chance that we could lag out, so I like to put my fire dagger in the chest. I'm well aware this boss can be killed faster, but I just do it cheaply. Alright, so I try to get 4 whacks at each corner, and then 3 to 4 shots on the runway. And my soup wore off, but he's got less than 100 health, so I'm not going to eat another soup. But we started with 19 soups. I used 4 of them, so roughly 8-minute fight to kill him that way. And then the reason why I bring the plants is because all these dead zombies love to drop fabric. They love to drop rope. So let's get us some fabric and some rope and see if we can make some armor. Alright, so I only found enough fabric to make the basic chest, but that's okay. Before changing class, I'm going to go ahead and lure this little weak guy out. Alright, now I'm going to switch to the illusion. I want to make sure that I get both of these guys to aggro me, so that way when I reset them, I think I used the wrong, yeah, I did. So normally I would use the clone to reset that guy since his HP is 560. And the reason why is because I only need to deal 1 point of damage to him to be able to sneak him without using a soup. Now here's a perfect example. I can switch class before that monster catches up. But I'm in such a tight space that might not be... Yeah, we can. Normally I would just run out the exit, but I wanted to show you guys that had there not been an exit, I could have easily reset the monster. This map is basically going to be the same concepts in the beginning. It's just sneaking and then rusty sorting to the exit, so I'll just give you an idea on one of them, and then I will come back to showing you the more complicated rooms. Now assume that you don't think you're going to get away here and you have your insta on. You can always just take it off, but you should have time to get away. And that is what you do until you get past the first giant.
Alright, so in the second half of this video, I basically just do the same exact strat all through Odin's, like using the fire dagger with the rusty sword to horsey away, and then switching to illusion to reset the monsters when there's more than one monster that you're gonna have go aggro on you. This works all the way till the archives. In the archives, monsters have skills that can stun you and stuff, along with the ability to like rush you, so it does not work nowhere near as smooth in the archives. But up until the archives, it has the potential to do everything but the boss fights without using Wonder ability on an Instigator set. But as you can see right here, I just got hit with my Instigator helm and boots on. That's the first time I got hit in Odin's, and I think total in this Odin's playthrough to the archives, I get hit 4 times. But again, most of the times when I get hit, it's because I'm being too greedy. Like that monster didn't have the exact health that I needed to be able to sneak without a soup. So I was just going ahead and trying to ping him a couple times while running before resetting, just so that way once I reset, his health would be to where I could go and one-shot him, and that's what got me hit. Whereas had I just reset him like I am supposed to, I would not have got hit. Or had I just made sure there was more distance between me and him before trying to reset him, the clones would have done the damage to put him under. But another thing that makes the illusionist skill resetting monsters extremely OP in comparison to like maybe the Thrasher who has the jump, or in comparison to going out the exit, is that when you're luring the giants, me personally, I like to do a tournament and I like to firebomb the giants on this floor and then shock trap firebomb the giants on the forge floor. But where it comes in super handy is once you have some giants following you, say you open up a room and it has 2 monsters and a giant in it, all you have to do is lure the monsters out until the smaller guys are faster than the giants. So if you just run away far enough, eventually only the small guys will be close to you and the giants will still be miles back because they're so slow. And then all you have to do is summon some clones, and the little guys will attack the clones, kill the clones, and reset, but the giants will then catch up and they won't be reset since they weren't aggro on the clones. And that is amazing for allowing me to do some pretty interesting stuff, like go into a room and reset it but not reset the giants, and then still keep luring the giants around in a pile. Then as I'm going back to get more giants, just stab the dude in the back and just keep working with it. A lot of times my hit points will change in the video and people may think that, oh, he got hit more than 4 times while wearing it. So that's not true. Whenever you change classes from level 1 to level 2 classes, your HP changes because of the boost. Another thing is that I don't plan, like, obviously this video is so fast that if you're trying to keep up, you'll probably have to turn the playback speed down, and that's because over the course of a couple of days, it took me like over 5 hours to clear the archives, mainly just for making stupid mistakes, forgetting to bring some things, going back to town because I was doing it in pieces, and then when I go back to town, I would like fill my plank maker or something and forget that I used the logs that I was planning to use to make like spears to kill the necro. But currently, as you can see, I am fire bombing and trying to start a tournament. If you're wondering why I cast the Circle of Blessing, it's because people had pointed out to me that a Hell Staff doesn't actually boost your fire bombs, which it should. I think the game should correct that. It should 100% boost your fire bombs. But that Circle of Blessing will boost your fire bombs. If you look close enough, when I'm in the Circle of Blessing and throw a fire bomb, it hits for 33, and when I'm not in the circle and I throw a fire bomb, it hits for 30. So it does make about 20 damage difference on a fire bomb. Altogether, I think I clear 15 pendants from the Necro floor, but with the Forge pendants, we got over 30, and it is very easy to do the Forge every day if you're willing to put 5 hours or less into the Forge every day. With the strat that I'm using, which is Rogue 2, Illusion 1, and Sorcerer 1. So yeah, like, if you do it every day, you can team hop and reset it, and you can open the gold cache every single day. There was a glitch where you could open up the cache twice. I think sometimes the glitch still works, and then sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure exactly how to replicate it every time. But I know that even when the glitch existed, the reason why I didn't make any videos on it was just because I wasn't really using it, and then at the end I tried to use it a couple times, and then it was basically not working very well. But to me, it was kind of, not as good as just team hopping every day anyway. Like, sure, you could open the gold cache pennant twice, but you could open the gold pennant patch twice in 48 hours anyway if you just clear to the forge. Not to mention that you're getting forge keys to eventually apply towards fire weapons. And I'm up to like 10 or 11 archives keys, so hopefully in the coming week or so, not only am I going to keep getting better at PvP, I'm going to get better at being able to do the archive solo without spending a bunch of purple gear, and then we can start turning those keys into the Tretch Helms, which would be an amazing thing to do. But people wonder, like, why does it take you 5 hours to do the forge? Honestly, a lot of time goes into, like, what you're seeing right now. Like, it takes me probably 20 minutes just to run around and grab all of the loot from all of the chests and take it back to my camp and then come back to Odin's. Like, on top of that, it takes 20 minutes. It takes 25 minutes to do a tournament, and I do 2 tournaments while I'm in Odin's, so that's 50 minutes of Odin's goes to tournaments, and then it doesn't take me very long at all to like go from killing this floor all the way to then also right there where I died. That was a complete brain fart. Like all I had to do was put on my staff and just illusion reset them, and for whatever reason I was like, oh, I gotta put all this stuff in my chest so just in case I die trying to walk out the exit. So yeah, completely stupid. I didn't have any gear on or lose any durability on anything when I died. It was like pretty much a planned death, but still it was like I could have just reset them with the staff. I don't know what I was thinking. I might have been doing something, been distracted in real life. I just don't know. But anyway, yeah, like it takes me a couple trips to take everything to town or to camp and then come back. And then the fire dagger, that was a used fire dagger when we started. And what I do to get it repaired is I have a friend who doesn't play who will let me use his repair table. But the problem is I have to stay on his team to keep using his repair table. Like I can't drop off items and have him repair them while I'm gone. So when I team hop, basically whatever item I left in his repair table will be there when I get back. And I basically just do one fire dagger that way, and then I trade my girlfriend's stuff. Since she does not like anything at all that's PvP related in this game, she doesn't want to fight players at all. All she wants to do is build her base, collect resources and stuff. Um, she doesn't have any way to like mine copper and stuff, so I trade her copper and gear, like I gave her Nord Shield and stuff, to be able to repair one item every couple of days when I come back to her team, which is basically like once a week. So yeah, basically as long as you bounce between 3 teams, you can handle it pretty well. I slowed down everything here so that you can actually see the way you do it when there's no exit. Um, I try to get monsters to 430 HP or less if I know, well actually less than 430, if I know I want to sneak them without the instigator set on. Have I Rogue 3, I would never have to ping any of the monsters with my staff. I would just be able to sneak them, but currently the monsters are in like these threshold brackets where like 560 and 480 are the magic number because I can hit 479 sometimes, I hit 430 without the insta set and the sneak move, and then I hit 559 or 560 with the insta set and the sneak move. So a lot of times I like to use the clones to reset someone who is 100. I got pinged there, but I did not have my instigator on. And plus, I don't mind getting pinged once by that monster because now every time when I run by that monster, it'll try to do its special instead of shoot me with that little pea shooter again. But yeah, that's all there is to it, is you just sneak one, horsey away, use your class switch, then you reset them, and then you come back. The only reason why it's easier at the beginning of the floors near the exit is because the exit doesn't have a cooldown, meaning like if my horsey is still on a 20-second cooldown and I go out the exit, I reset the floor 30 seconds faster than I would have if I tried to avoid the exit. But either way, I have noticed sometimes that if you reset a giant and you spend too long out the exit, sometimes you can come back and he won't be reset. He'll be reset as in not facing you, but he will do a regular attack on you after you sneak him instead of his special, which allows you to get away. When it came to fighting this Whisperer, I have done it before with spears, but it takes like almost 60 food for me. But I have gotten better at just running far enough away from him that you can use a healing salve to heal back up. And the reason why I'm using weapon breakers is the same reason why I used a couple green weapons on the Necro. It's because I'm running out of room at my camp. I have too many, so I'm just basically like, every time I find a good use for them, I try to use them. The forge cast thing behind him, I'm still unsold on how well it works for determining the drop from the golem. I think it's still random, but all the fire bows that I have gotten from killing the golem, I have had that forge cast thing turn to a bow. Now what I've realized is if you go out the exit to reset a monster, it will flip back over to a sword, and then I think if you open up the golem's room, it doesn't matter what you flipped it to, it's too late, meaning like say you forget to turn it to a bow, and you go all the way to the golem and you open up his room and you're about to fight him and you're like, shoot, I forgot to flip that thing over, and you run back and you flip it to a bow. I've still gotten fire daggers when that happens, but when I flip it over to a bow, don't die at all, don't leave ever since flipping it over to a bow, stay in there the whole entire time, get all the way to the golem and kill him. That's how I've gotten all my fire bows. But I do understand that there's a high probability that that's just a coincidence. I'm close to 50-50 on fire bows and fire daggers. I think we've done the Iron Golem about 11 times, maybe 10, and I think we're looking at like 5 and 5 or 6 and 6 on my fire weapons, and I did trade originally for one fire dagger. I have been using the fire dagger in Odin's ever since the first time I ever did a stream on the Forge. That was the first night that I used fire dagger in Odin's, and I've been using it ever since. The rusty sword combo, that I've only been doing for like, I don't know, a month, but it is amazing. Being able, basically the three items that you're always wearing is an apprentice staff, a rusty sword, and a fire dagger, and I kid you not, with some healing slabs, you can straight up dominate all the way to the archives. I do currently have plans to do the archives again soon, and I've saved up tons of fire traps and shock traps and throwing axes. On this iron golem, the first half I usually spend longer than need be, but I use some support staffs. One of the main reasons is I have like almost 900 of those blue crystals. I very rarely use healing staffs as much as I used to when I first started playing the game, so this is a great way to let me use like 5 or 6 of them. Getting his HP down. I still use Hunter 2 because I'm not exactly sure how much difference the run speed will make, but currently I've been trying to map out the fastest ways strategically anyway for me to kill this guy for cheap. I do have the lap that you see me run in my stream, but I have perfected the art of that lap. I don't run that lap until he gets under 5k health, which I will stop it and explain. Alright, so the green circle is the lap that I run around when trying to get the Iron Golem to follow me. The pink spots is where I attack him every single lap. I always stop at those spots and shoot him. The purple 2 dots, those are interchangeable, meaning one lap I'll shoot him on one, and then on the other lap I'll shoot him on the other, but I never shoot him with both spots on the same lap. They just interchange between one lap and the other lap, and then the blue spot is where I shoot him after I get him to do the flamethrower. Now the real trick here is that I have found a way to sync the golem so that I can get him to do the flamethrower in that corner where the blue dot is every single other lap. And now if he falls out of sync and I need to get him back in sync, all you have to do is run 3 laps or even 2 full complete laps without taking any shots at him other than the pink one in that corner, and that will sync him back to that corner every other lap. And this has allowed me to be able to start mastering him to where I can do him with a set of Instigator and not get hit at all. Just 100% dominate him. I think it's 9 shots if you add them up over 2 laps that we're getting to do. Now, assuming that you're not me and you don't want to use simple bows to do this, if you're using a wrath staff or a poison bow or anything, or even, a fire bow, just being able to make him do the flamethrower in the same corner every other lap is going to give you the huge ability to just basically go ham on him as he does the flamethrower in that corner. Who cares? Get 2 laps in to go ham on him again in that corner. Who cares? 2 laps, hamming him again, and he should be dead really, really quickly since you know where he's going to flamethrower every single time. Also, that giveaway that I talked about earlier in the beginning of this video, if you're one of the true fans that has made it this far in the video, I want to let you know that if you comment with your giveaway comment and capitalize the first and last letter in your comment, I will let you pick 2 sets instead of 1 if you win the giveaway. Now, if you mess up doing the sinking him to do his flamethrower in that corner right there, like say you're in your inventory too long or something, you get all out of sync to where he's not doing the flamethrower in that same corner, now he's hitting you every time you stop in random spots with the flamethrower, all you have to do is take a break from what you're doing, run a couple of laps without shooting him, other than right there. When you first enter that corner right by the fireball cannon, just shooting there, then run a whole entire lap without shooting him again until you get back to there. And do that twice, and then on the next time you stop there, he should do the flamethrower. And once you see him do the flamethrower, you can go back into your rhythm of shooting him once behind that bucket right there. I shoot him once every other lap, and then in the middle of my lap right there, I shoot him once every other lap. Always shoot him in both corners though. And then after he does the flamethrower, always shoot him 3 times. And that is basically the system. And then the fireballs, like, they're not very hard to dodge if you're in just that lap. But a lot of times you get lag spikes or the game, it's almost like a hiccup where the ball's supposed to come out, but it like stutter steps and you can get hit. In the making of this Iron Golem attempt, I'm wearing an Instigator helmet boots, so I'm trying not to get hit at all. But I'm unsuccessful with that mission. At one point, I misjudged a fireball, and I got hit even though I thought I was in the clear, meaning when I looked back, I was like, wow, that fireball just kind of like teleported on me or something, but I think it was just like a visual lag, whereas the fireball was actually farther than it appeared that it was. I'm not sure. I slowed it down, but yeah, like right there, like I thought I was gonna clear that and go right in front of it, but no. So like, I definitely chalked that up as my bad. I think I could have been a little bit way more discreet with dodging that ball. But now I've slowed it down so that I can explain that you shooting this. If you're not sure which laps you do which shooting, always shoot him in the center the same lap that he does the fireball, whereas I shot him in the center the previous lap. That was incorrect. You risk him catching up and trying to do his flamethrower out of sync. That's all you risk by doing that. Meaning if you're shooting him in the spots that I tell you to shoot him every other lap, and you're shooting him there every lap, then there's a good chance that one of the times you're going to bump him out of sync with that flamethrower, and then he won't shoot it in that corner that you're seeing him shoot it in. But again, don't shoot him from behind that bucket on the lap that he does the flamethrower. On the lap where he does not do the flamethrower in the corner, make sure you always shoot him from behind that bucket. On the lap that he does do the flamethrower, always make sure that you shoot him from that middle square where you can see like the furnace vents. And then always shoot him in the right corner and the left corner. And always shoot him 3 times after the flamethrower. Now, if you need to get in your inventory to change weapons, the time you do that is always after the flamethrower. Instead of shooting him 3 times, you spend that time going into your inventory. If you are not as good at dodging the fireballs and you're getting hit numerous times or something and you need more bandages, that's perfectly fine. Don't rush to trying to put the bandages in your slot. Just wait until you get him to do that flamethrower in the corner, and then go into your inventory and put your bandages on. Like now, instead of shooting him 3 times, would be the perfect time to put the bandages on. And that is the cheapest, simplest way that I know to beat the Iron Golem. It does take about 20 minutes. You can increase that speed by just using better stuff. It is completely up to you. I just know that if you can do it with this method, you can. Putting on any purple is going to make it cake. Using a purple weapon, this won't even be the same fight. It will be so easy that it'll be like stealing a fire weapon from the Iron Golem. I'll slow it down again at the end to explain one more time. I've yet to try and melee the Iron Golem. The reason why I avoid melee is because of the durability costs. But again, I guess you could stab him after you get him to do the flamethrower in the same spot every time. But it would probably take longer unless you were hitting pretty heavily with the melee. And then the other way to melee him would just be to tank his damage output and just, DPS him out as fast as you could. Also, again, that giveaway, make sure that your comment is not edited, guys. Don't have edited comments, they won't count. Again, it's super simple. Just comment who you think is going to win the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight and when and how. Meaning, if you think it's going to end in round 2 by a knockout, so be it. Put the name of who you think is going to win by knockout round 2. You do not have to guess the time of the round. If multiple people have guessed the same winner in the same round, I will do a random number generator between those people, but you're only allowed to comment once. You can comment, just do not edit it, and then I will announce who won on 420, and the fight is on the 17th, so by the 16th is all you get to put in your comment. Again, I'm trying to make the window sort of small so that it's more likely that someone who watches my content and is actually, a fan is who gets the giveaway, not someone who just heard I'm doing a giveaway and shows up to drop a comment and win some free stuff. But if that's what happens, that's what happens. And as you can see here in the end, we're still following the exact same pattern of running the lap, shoot him in the middle every other time, shoot him in this corner every single time, shoot him behind this bucket every other time. And I did have the cast flipped over on a bow. If you were watching, it's been flipped over on a bow for probably a good half hour. I think it took 30 minutes to get to the golem. Most of my time spent in the forge isn't on the way to the golem or at the golem. The golem is usually 20 minutes, and it's usually roughly 30 some minutes to get to the golem. So basically an hour to get as far as I am in the forge from the start of the forge. But that's only half my forge time. The other half of my forge time is what you see right now, whereas I have to go around and kill off. Well, I don't have to kill them. Technically, I could do what I told you, which is just lure the giants out and then reset the small guys using clones. And then the small guys would be back in their rooms and just the giants would be on me. But I prefer to kill as many of the monsters on the forge floor as I can, because I have noticed that there's times where I'll get gold pendants, even from the small guys. And since I go around and I grab all of the chests, I think the least amount of rooms where I have to lure the monsters out just to grab the chest is better for profit-wise. But this is basically all I'm going to put in this video, because the video has gotten very, very long compared to what I thought it was going to be. I was going to show you guys that I also do Hell's Envoy, but this is pretty much the routine that I'm on. This video I didn't get lucky enough to show you like PvP in the zones that's been happening for me, but that's because I only did one farm run. But I'm going to let this video serve as sort of like a, I want to say like a little teaser of what videos I can drop in the future. Like, I'm going to drop a video of how I mine my iron, since I usually get into a good bit of fights while mining iron. I think if I record a few iron trips, I can show you guys that normally I get killed by a team or something. I come back and I try to kill the people who killed me. Same with the maple, but it's less likely in the maple zone than it is in the iron zone. Well, I mean, everybody else calls it the copper zone, but I go there to mine iron, and then the copper is a bonus. Like, I don't go looking for 3 copper rocks and then leave, and that's the reason why, is because once I look for copper rocks and leave, I just feel like I might as well take the copper back home instead of running around with it on me looking for iron. But when it's vice versa, meaning I have all of the iron on me and I'm looking for copper, I don't feel so bad. But yeah, I'll also show you guys an updated video of the golem, since people, watch my other golem video and still think that, oh, you only was able to beat him with simple bows because he lagged and was slow. It's like, nah, we've perfected the craft now to where the information that I have on sinking him in the corner and doing a lap will help everyone, not just me. Like, if you're using purples or using better items, it'll make your life super easy too. You'll be able to kill him in a matter of a couple of minutes with little to no effort, and you won't have to run nowhere near as many laps. These giants on this floor that we're soon to set up, you cannot necessarily just firebomb them because of the Servants of Ash having a farther range with their special, meaning you'll stop to throw a fireball and they'll stop to shoot you with their special. So I like to shock trap them first. And since the shock traps also do damage, it sort of reduces how many fire bombs I need. I think it's less than 20 shock traps and less than 20 fire bombs to clear this floor of giants. There's been players that tell me that they skip the giants, they don't do the giants. I highly recommend you kill the giants, guys. Like, that is where almost all of the gold pendants in Odin's come from, is from the giants on the necromancer's floor and the giants on this floor, and that's how I do it. I still put up the blessing every minute or every however many seconds the cooldown is on it, and that's just because it's an extra 10%. That does work on the fire bombs. I have checked it. So the instigator helm, the instigator boots, and that blessing circle are the only thing that I know of to boost your fire bomb damage. I do not think soups work. I do not think Zerker pots work. I do not think that the Hell's Staff works. So yeah, it's definitely worth it every once in a while to do that. But again, you got to be a little, safe with those shock traps. If you get too close to the monsters, even when you're, like, say you're near the shock trap, they won't necessarily go in the shock traps. The servants might stop and try to shoot you from afar. But either way, no matter what, I still try to do a tournament. I average 15 to 17k points on either floor doing the giants, and the reason is because I can just run off and kill some extra monsters if the tournament ends early. Like, usually it ends with 10 plus minutes left, and then I can go on another floor where I previously left some monsters, or I can go on this floor where there's monsters in a room that are guarding a chest, and try to lure some or sneak some to get extra points. But this is my daily routines, basically, is try to clear Odins as often as possible, try to do Hell's Envoy as often as possible so that I can team hop, and farm the zones for Maple, farm the zones for Copper, and that is where I find my PvP practice, is when I'm in those zones. I am no longer a healer now. I am now carrying a couple bolas, Pathfinder 3, a simple bow, engaging in a fight, trying to come back and kill the person who killed me, or even if I'm not being killed and I make it away, I may still try to come back. I have gone a couple times in purple gear to go back because of anger, but for one reason or another, either the map resets or the dude's not there anymore. I haven't got a good purple fight on camera, but I'm getting better for sure at the things that I want to get better at, to get better at PvP. And then when it comes to doing the archives, I think that by the time I'm better at PvP, I will also be better at soloing Jorgens. So there's the loot from the one run in Odin's Ford. So now it's time to regroup. Alright, so say I have cleared Odin's, and I've cleared Hell's Envoy, and I'm on my friend's team who lets me use his repair table. All I then have to do is leave his team, and since I'm not the leader of that team and he is, all the timers are based off the leader, meaning if you leave your own team and you're the leader, your timers won't reset. But when you go into that 24-hour period where you don't have a team, both your timers are reset, and that is the 24 hours where I really cram, meaning I have 24 hours to clear Odin's to the Forge and kill Hell's Envoy, while also doing my farming methods, or doing the daily dungeon from touching the statue, and doing my daily quests, all within 24 hours, and then when the 24 hours is up, I can join my girlfriend's team, and the resets have happened again, and then I can clear them again. So basically, as much playtime as you have, you can just keep redoing this. Now, assuming there was no truce, it would be a little bit more difficult, but I still think it would be worth it. Even if there wasn't a truce, you would just have to start consolidating your wealth, meaning instead of having, a chest full of purples, you would have, like one chest full of 20 copper bars, in each stack. That way, when it came time to raid, you only had to carry, 20 piles of copper to Odin's to hide it, instead of having to carry 5 massives of purples to Odin's to hide it. Like, that would be a good example. for me on what I think the differences would be. It's rare that I go to the druids or that I go to the giants. I plan to really only do that on stream. In the coming week, I do plan to do another PvP stream where we're basically, just trying to work on getting better at things like A, I still am not good at keeping my bandages on cooldown. B, I'm still not good at remembering to stay buffed, meaning my soups wear off in the middle of a fight. I don't re-eat them. And another thing that I haven't even moved on to yet because I still suck at those things is hitting the auto button while fighting someone before going into your inventory. That way, when you press auto, your avatar will continue to engage in combat with them, and then that allows you to move stuff around in your inventory without missing out on any attack clicks. And then, when you drink a potion or you actually eat something, it will knock you out of auto, but you're coming right out of your inventory at that point to go back to attacking them anyway. And then another thing that it seems super simple that I struggle huge with is tap to target at the start of an engagement. Meaning, I'm well aware of you're chasing someone down and you want to bola them, that you tap them first and then you bola them, but that's not. I'm not just talking about tap to target. I'm talking about tap to target at the beginning of the engagement, meaning the first thing I should do before I even start attacking the target is click it. Hard click it to put the hard target on it. That's so when that moment happens where they take off and I take off after them, I don't have to click them then. They've already been clicked, which means if they go near a monster, I didn't hard click the monster. I have still hard clicked them. The target is still on them unless they get far enough away for your target to not appear. So to me, that's huge. There's been a few times where like I've gotten jumped by 3 people in the red stone, and all that it would have changed for me to win in blue versus 3 dudes in green is had I targeted one guy at the start of the fight, once he ran to go heal because he was almost dead, I wouldn't have just started attacking the guy to his left because I would have had a hard target on that guy, and as I ran after him, he would have still been my target in the pursuit and I would have been able to shoot him. But since I didn't hard target him, as soon as he took off running and I ran after him, my target changed to the guy to the left and I shot him, and then I clicked the guy I wanted to shoot, and by then he'd already gotten some heals from his bandages, and it was a whole nother situation. So like, yeah, there's a lot of things I want to work on in my PvP streams. I know the people that are watching are always worried about when you're going to wear purple. The time is coming. It's not far away. It's just one of those, it's not worth it for me to suck so bad and try to cover up those really horrible PvP skills with better gear. Like, I want to make myself better, not stronger. Once I've made myself better, then we can make myself stronger. At first, I thought, yeah, you make yourself stronger. You get the classes, you get all this, you get all that, you'll be great. Yeah, and then I'm realizing it's more about calm and collect. Currently, learning PvP for me is like how it was trying to learn how to drive a car. In the beginning, it's just so hard to stay calm. You think it's so simple, you've seen everybody drive, then you get behind the wheel and you're nervous. You got to take a test to get a license to do it, so you're nervous for your test. Like, you can't stay focused on, keeping the car straight, maintaining the same speed. All these things that are normally super easy for someone to do are just really hard for you because you can't keep your nerves calm. But I feel like after you get the hang of it, like once you achieve that driver's license, once you have all of the skills pretty much under your belt, then you're no longer worried about the simple things. You're calm and collected. You're worried about what you're going to do when you get paid this week and not where the yellow or white line is. That's PvP. I'm just messing up on simple things and not staying calm and collected. And as I get better at doing those things, I will get better at PvP. And I also think that the same flaws that I have at PvP are the same flaws that have held me back from beating the Jorgen guy solo with blue gear. Which I do think will be in the near future. I have been stocking up for my rematch with Jorgen. This is also a chest that this is PvP Jorgen, meaning my 2 goals is to get good at PvP and get good at Jorgen. I do not always plan to kill Jorgen with blue gear. I just feel like that if I can kill him with blue gear, then it will forever be easy to do with purple gear, meaning like the Iron Golem, once upon a time, I wasn't wearing an instigator set of boots and helm to fight him. I was just wearing rags. and now I'm wearing Instigator, Boot, and Helm. I feel like once upon a time I will have been using blue to kill Jorgen, and then eventually I will be using a purple weapon and most likely blue armor still. But anyway, guys, the video has gotten extremely long, so good luck in the giveaway. If you have any questions, add me on Discord. The link is going to be in the description. And remember that you can delete your comment and comment again, but all edited comments won't count, and the winner gets one of those sets that I showed you earlier in the video. So, good luck. Later.